Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. The movie begins with the introduction of a group of troops, transporting an informant to a specific location. However, they encounter a problem on their way, prompting one of the soldiers to investigate the situation. A mystery man approaches, and kills him. This unexpected attack results in the deaths of other soldiers by the unknown individual. Meanwhile, the remaining soldiers in the car become suspicious, and decide to investigate what is going on. Except for the group commander and one of his guys, who were supposed to protect the informant, the unknown figure overpowers and paralyzes them. At that point, the group leader tries to face the unknown man, but he also fails and dies horribly. The unknown man then kills the other troops, and exposes his identity. He is Walker, the legendary assassin, dreaded throughout England. Walker reveals the informant's face, making him feel happy, believing he has been saved. The informant is unaware that Walker was sent to kill him, and he shoots the informant without hesitation, killing him instantly. Later, Walker is taken aback by the revelation that the group leader has vanished. This troubles him, because if the leader is still alive, he could reveal Walker's true identity. To address this problem, he promptly calls his organization, and notifies them of what occurred. He is led to a spot where he can remain hidden, until his new identity is established. When he arrives at the assassin's headquarters, he meets two agents, Smithy and Forge. Walker emphasizes his desire to have his documentation finalized by night. However, Forge cannot guarantee this, because there are many assassins waiting to have their identities changed. As a result, Walker must wait his turn. Smithy accompanies him to a room. As he makes preparations to leave, two other people enter the room, and immediately begin arguing with each other. Walker has the desire to step in, but Smithy prevents him from doing so. Later, Walker goes into a room where he has a machine waiting for him, to clean his fingerprints. While doing so, he becomes aware that there are additional assassins present in their respective rooms. He is taken aback to discover that one of the rooms is occupied by a woman, Juliet, who is pregnant. In the meantime, a group of heavily armed men is staking out the headquarters of the assassins. Renard, one of the men, is the one who reports the findings of his surveillance to Big Deal, who is a member of the Mafia and its commander. When Big Deal finds out about the news, he gives his army, led by Keats, the mission to infiltrate the building, kill everyone inside, and take Juliet hostage. Walker, on the other hand, is totally unaware of the impending assault, and he is in his room when Smithy slides an envelope through the crack in his door. After that, he wastes no time in inspecting it. Smithy is in a hurry to meet Sarah, a woman who he has admired for a very long time. He cannot contain his excitement when she tells him that she wants to go watch a movie with him before they go home. Unfortunately, while the Big Deal's men are waiting for the entrance gate to open, Sarah's return is used by their enemies as an opportunity to infiltrate the building, and begin killing the guards, which eventually allows all of the men to enter. A woman named Elda enters the officers' quarters. She is determined to find the key to another room. Walker is seen sobbing over a locket with a portrait of his daughter, which he clutches in his hands. He has no idea that powerful men have covertly murdered the security guards and altered the building's security system. Smithy is listening to loud music in his room, so he is unaware of the intruders, until he sees them and immediately presses the alarm button, alerting everyone. Despite the blasting alarm, Walker remains in his room. Elda enters Walker's room with Juliet, the intended hostage victim. Walker refuses to help her, since he does not want to become involved with anyone. Elda and Juliet leave soon, leaving Walker's bedroom door unlocked. As a result, an intruder attacks him. Fortunately, he avoids the attack and dispatches the intruder. He finally meets Juliet and Elda, who are apprehending one of the attackers, examining another room. Elda is still irritated with Walker for not assisting them earlier. On the other hand, he is annoyed that she did not lock his door, resulting in the attack. He initially decides to let her battle alone, but later changes his mind, and decides to assist her. But Elda decides to continue on her own with Juliet, and they split up. Soon, as Elda is attempting to secure the situation, Juliet recognizes two of Big Deal's guys, and becomes terrified. She quickly takes cover beneath a car. Walker notices Juliet is in danger, since one of the attackers is attempting to capture her. He decides to assist in repelling the intruders. They all head to the armory later, to seek out weapons, but he can't find the key to the locker. They are perplexed, until Smithy appears. But Smithy can only unlock a cabinet with sharp weapons and a few smoke grenades. When they hear men approaching the room, they defend with whatever weapons they can find. Walker and Elda defend the door, while Juliet and Smithy hide. When the intruders break into the room, Elda and Walker fight bravely and defeat them, But Smithy is shot and dies, leaving the others devastated. They must then find a safe area to cure Walker's leg injuries and rest Juliet. While Elda is tending to Walker's wound, she reveals that she knows Walker's family was murdered by the Big Deal Mafia, a human trafficking organization. She used to work for them, as it turns out. Julia was going to be sold, but things got difficult when Juliet became pregnant, which enraged Elda. Elda eventually compromised her own boss, in order to assist Juliet in escaping. She felt terrible for Juliet at the time, and didn't want her to face the same fate as herself, who was kidnapped young, and was never reunited with her biological family. Shortly after, Walker chooses to seek assistance from Forge, but Elda refuses, since his injuries are too severe. So she takes matters into her own hands, and goes to the communications room to seek assistance herself. The room, however, is guarded by intruders, and she must kill them all. Despite being outnumbered, she defeats them all. She deactivates the network and restores the building's signal once inside. That's when she comes across Walker and Juliet, who have been stabbed with a knife. They tend to the wound, which is thankfully not too severe. Meanwhile, Bates, one of Big Deal's minions, is irritated that Renard is taking too long to apprehend Juliet, so he and Keats decide to enter the building themselves, to complete the assignment. Walker and his colleagues must battle the remaining attackers as they make their way through the structure, in order to escape. Meanwhile, Keats attempts to persuade the remaining assassins to join her in killing Walker and his colleagues. Bates continues to shoot at Walker and Elda. They fight back with improvised weapons, and kill Bates when he runs out of ammo. Then they continue on their journey, but they encounter Danigan, an assassin working for Keats. He is about to kill them, but Walker fires a smoke bomb to confuse him. They attempt to immobilize Danigan, but he is too powerful for them. Juliet intervenes and stabs Danigan in the neck, but he strangles her, before being beaten. Danigan is ready to rip Juliet's teeth out, when he realizes he is not supposed to murder her. Elda and Walker rush from behind and defeat him. Walker collapses shortly after, due to heart problems. Elda swiftly administers first aid to him. He quickly regains his calm, and phones his organization for assistance, but they won't arrive for another hour, so the three of them must find a hiding place. Elda also realizes that they must retrieve their documents, in order to avoid leaving any evidence. Walker is willing to assist, but an assassin, Fisher, appears. Walker resolves to take on Fisher himself, to give Elda and Juliet some time. Fisher, it turns out, has always wanted to kill Walker himself, but Walker eventually overpowers and defeats him. Elda and Juliet are stopped by Levette, another of Big Deal's henchmen. He compels Elda to fetch her paperwork alone, abandoning Juliet. In a horrific turn of events, Levette stabs Elda in the stomach. Walker arrives and attempts to distract Levette, as Elda heals. He throws a grenade into a nearby car, causing it to explode, and killing Levette. Juliet attempts to sneak inside the document room, unaware that she is being followed by Keats. She hastily hides between the shelves when she senses she is being pursued, and pushes over one of the shelves as Keats approaches, forcing it to fall on Keats and trap her beneath the documents. Simultaneously, at the explosion site, where Levette appears to be dying, Elda notices this and swiftly murders him. When Juliet is about to leave the document room, Keats appears out of nowhere, and attacks her with a dagger. Walker finally gains access to the document room, but he is heartbroken to discover Forge's body. Forge had always been of great assistance to him. He also discovers money and documents that she had saved for him before her death. He changes his mind after taking the documents, and decides not to assist Elda and Juliet. This enrages Elda, and she brings up Walker's family's background, which was assassinated by Big Deal. He raises his voice and claims, if he hadn't tried to aid them that day, his daughter would still be alive. He then informs her she must leave. Later, Elda is spotted spying on Keats and Renard, who are planning to escort Juliet to Big Deal. Soon, Elda strikes Renard with a machete, but she struggles to overcome him. Meanwhile, Keats kidnaps Juliet, and threatens to murder her in front of Elda. Renard, impatient and determined to go on, picks up Elda's machete and prepares to murder her, but Walker enters and stops him. This enables Elda to assist Juliet, while still fighting Keats. Elda kills Keats with her machete after a fierce battle, and then assists Walker in fighting Renard, until they beat Big Deal's troops. A car from Walker's group arrives shortly after, and Walker gives Juliet all of his money to sustain her and her kid. He receives a call about a new mission as they drive away, but he declines, stating that he has unfinished business. Juliet seems to be living happily with Elda a month later. Big Deal is distraught, because his business has been damaged. Walker emerges out of nowhere, seeking vengeance for his wife's death. He declares that he is not only avenging himself but also Juliet, and kills Bid Deal. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Turn on the notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out.